An all-new episode of the top CBS primetime drama The Equalizer premieres this Sunday. Harry reconnects with his Jewish faith to help the team track down a hate crime suspect before they strike again. Adam Goldberg, who plays Harry, joins me now over Zoom. Great to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Oh, so what else can you tell us about the new episode? We're really curious. What's going on?
Yeah, well, it is a pretty heavy episode, I think it's reflective of sort of sadly, the current state of things. I was just saying that even since we shot this episode, there have been several anti-Semitic, hate crimes just in the intervening, I don't know, couple of months. So, we're really trying to cast a light on, that particular problem. And the way that we're doing it is, we discover that my character has sort of lost touch a little bit with his Jewish heritage. And so it's sort of a way that kind of draws him back into his old neighborhood and his family and that sort of thing.
Yeah, what was it like to see your character revisit his religious roots?
It's interesting. I mean, because it's sort of less, I guess, his religious roots so much as it is his cultural roots, and I think that's an interesting, sort of distinction of being a kind of a secular Jewish guy in America. And it's not dissimilar to my own experience, which is, I'm a half Jewish guy, largely identify with a lot of kind of Jewish roles that I've played, but you're always sort of trying to strike a balance between paying homage to your culture and to your heritage, but also, like you're an American guy. And I think that's it's a nuanced discussion, in this particular episode, we deal a little bit with that. And also, a lot with, really a lot of the violence, which is being, sort of perpetrated against, people practicing their faith and people who are just simply have Jewish last names. I mean, they could be completely, agnostic.
Such an interesting point you make. And I wanted to ask you, it looks like McCall has some of her own family drama. What can you tell us about all of that?
Not that much, to be honest with you. When I do those episodes, I really am paying, I actually make a point of just reading the things that character would actually know. So unless it's something that I need to know, I don't read it. So I can just kind of keep in the actual headspace of the character. So I actually don't know what's going on with her in this episode.
Brilliant, brilliant. And you're no stranger to television. You've been on so many successful shows, including here on CBS. I wanted to ask, what has it been like to feel the positive response to The Equalizer?
Well, it's nice, as you say. I've been on a lot of TV, and I've certainly guest starred on a lot of successful shows, and I've starred in a lot of unsuccessful shows. I mean, barring maybe Fargo, I know, for FX. But I have a history of being on a lot of shows that last a year or two, and so it's very nice to be on something which is, I think, kind of nestled comfortably, into its sort of place into the lineup there. And so, I'm very grateful to be doing it.
Yeah, big congratulations to you. You're such a part of it. Is there any other part of Harry's journey this season that maybe you can tease for us? What should we be looking for?
I mean, this is pretty much, I think, the apotheosis of his journey. But I will say there is something, I think it's already aired, where he's beginning to sort of get more involved in they're letting him out of the sanctum, is what we call it, where he does all his work and sort of hitting the streets and doing some undercover work. There's a character I've come to affectionately call Normal Guy, which is an undercover sort of disguise. I go into a pizza place as trying to find out some information and wearing, looking completely different, wearing a members only jacket and doing some funny voice. And, we're hoping we're going to bring Normal Guy back at some point.
I wonder if that members only jacket is yours, because how do you even find one of those anymore?
Well, it's funny. Every single thing on the show that I wear is mine, and not that. That was the one episode where we had to go to eBay.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to get you one of those. That's pretty cool. Adam, so good to talk to you, Adam Goldberg. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you can watch The Equalizer this Sunday night at 8 right here on CBS 2.